So this one we have a triangle ABC and we have to find the size of a shaded angle. It's for 3 marks. So pause the video if you want to have a go at it. But what I will tell you is if you want to have a look at the formula sheet, you'll see these. So what we want to do is we want to decide what information do we know and what do we want to find out. And I think you've recognised by this point that this is a trigonometry question. So the easiest way to do this one is to label your sides and your angles. Now the convention is that angle A is opposite side A, and we use lowercase for sides and uppercase for angles. So B is opposite the angle and C there. So what information do we know? So we know AC, and for the purposes of trigonometry, we want to refer to side AC as a lowercase b. So we know, wait, hold on a second. So we know B, we know all of the sides, so we know these, and we have to find the angle C. So we have to find an angle. So if you have a look at the sine rule, you can't possibly use the sine rule. The reason for this is because you need to know at least one of the angles. Because suppose we cover up one of these, then you still have two angles in the equation, but we have to find an angle, but we don't know any angles, so we wouldn't be able to use the sine rule. But if we have a look at this, the cosine of A equals this one in particular. The idea is if you substitute the length of 3 sides, you can find the cosine of an angle, but we do have to modify this a bit because the angle we have to find is C. So we're going to modify this. So we want to write C in place of A, so we put the lowercase c. And you notice on the denominator we have the opposite letters to this one, to the A. So we put A and B on the bottom, so 2AB. Then it would be A squared plus B squared minus C squared. So the idea is that the C cannot possibly be on the denominator because it's the c on the left hand side, and it's minus c instead of minus a. Now that does cause a lot of confusion, and many pupils get this wrong. So substitute what we know. So side A is BC, that's 28 squared. We have B is 24 squared. C is 20 squared. Divided by 2 times 28 times 24. So to save any issues regarding the order of operations or bond mass, evaluate the numerator on your calculator first. So that's the first thing you want to do. Then divide by 2, then divide by 28, then divide by 24. And the answer you get for this is roughly 0.71428 57 ... You've got one more step, that is to find the angle C. Now to do this, you have to find the inverse cosine. On your calculator it will be labelled, usually it will be labelled either this or this or something similar. Check with your teacher if you're not too sure, but I recommend you stick with the same calculator and you know your calculator before you step into the exam hall. So you take the inverse cosine and you get 44.4153. But that's too many decimal places, I would say. So to one decimal place, and it's the angle ACB. So angle ACB equals 44.4 degrees. And that has finished. So I hope you found this useful. This sort of thing is very common in exams. So best of luck with the studying. Thank you for watching.